I'm going to try to cram as much Anubis util as I can into this short little video. So from spawn, you want to come up to this corner, it's the first door. You're going to imagine there's a little square here and aim in the middle. Not super complicated, just somewhere around this corner. Jump throw. And that's going to land top mid. And then from the same exact corner, you can actually find this line, aim right around this stick. I don't think it's actually very precise. That's just how I find it. And that's going to stick on E-box so you can cross. This is good if they like to post with an op. You can also get up into the corner here. And then you're going to press yourself up against here. Find this little splotch. Looks like a little coffee stain or something. Aim down, right at the crack. Throw. This is going to land in E-box and actually smoke off in here. This is great for a B rush, and while you're rushing, you might as well throw some flashes. You can come up here, aim at the top of the head and jump throw. And then from here, similar deal, aim where the head would be, jump throw. These are two flashes that you can support your team with. Over here, you can get in this crack. You want to find the second little lump, and then aim anywhere in this little square. That's going to bounce off of the top and land CT. And if you ever forget which one to aim it at, just imagine it's going to hit there. Again, pretty loose. To molly close, you want to walk towards this door until you're above these two tiles. Just aim in the middle. And then on the trim, there's a little chip here. You want to find the chip and go down to the shadow. This is going to land here. It's going to spread all the way up to E-box so that they can't play behind it in the Molotov. They're either going to have to push forward or walk into E-box, which is, if this is smoked, not a good option for them because they're giving up the site. And then here is a lineup that I think is kind of inconsistent, but I've been working on it and finding ways to make it better. You line up with this splotch. I'm going to put the tip of your crosshair, and this depends on which crosshair you're using, so you're going to have to figure this out on your own. You place it right about here, lining up with this, and you're going to run and jump throw right when your crosshair passes there. And that's going to land into ruins. It's inconsistent, but I think I've gotten to the point where I can hit it 9 out of 10 times, and this is going to make your opponent probably uninstall. Over at A site, you can get into this corner and you can throw 3 pretty solid smokes. The first one is heaven. This is probably the most important. You find this little part of the pallet and aim over to the left and jump throw. Not super precise, just around that area. And then you can left click a throw right in the middle of this little design. And then jump throw a left and right click throw at the edge of this little light spot on the wall. And what you have here is a smoke heaven and then a smoke wall that's going to be very hard for them to play around. Also from this position, left and right click jump throw the corner of the A here. A flash is a great pop flash. So after you're done throwing a heaven smoke, or if you have teammates drop you smokes to throw all 3, you can do this to help them hit it. From this position, throwing any kind of util into connector or stairs, whatever you call it, it's pretty easy. You just aim for this. I mean, work on it, practice it. It makes sense for me. If you're good at throwing util, you should be able to do it. You can do the same with the smoke, and get a smoke for stairs rather than doing the smoke wall here, but then you have to deal with this angle. Over at mid, you can always just molly the house by banking one off of here. And then from this position, you can line up to this little strip on the wood, and then you're going to find this brick, aim at the top of it, kind of like so, so just a little bit over to the left of this crack, and that will molly double. A really specific flash to throw. You can come up to the crack here, crouch, right click, walk for a while, and then jump throw. Now this looks like it doesn't land, but trust me it does. Very hard to react to. And this angle can't get out ahead of it, although it is very reactive. If you're running along this line and you aim right around here, like at this leaf on the pillar, you'll get a molly that lands back of sight. Now let's look at CT side. So at spawn, you can look just to the right of the building here, jump throw, and this is going to land deep mid. This will help you fight mid. And then while that's smoked off, this opens up a lot of other options. You can get into this corner and just aim right around here, pretty loose, and left click a flash. Then on B site, the best way I found to flash at the start of the round to disorient the T's is when you're coming up these steps, left and right click jump throw at the middle of the square. It's pretty loose. And that's just going to pop early, so if they're rushing, it might be enough to disorient them. And with a bit of other util, you can maybe lurk out and get aggressive. You could also throw this later in the round, but if you are going to peek later in the round when you're already set up, I recommend coming into around this corner and just aiming, you know, anywhere at the right side of this little structure and jump throw. And that's going to give you a pretty good pop flash for your teammate. You might even go a little bit further to the right. But if I'm being supported by this flash and I'm here, it's a great way to swing out. In addition, you can get a lot of mileage from dispensing here. Then if we head over to A, got a couple of interesting pieces of util. From here, left and right click at this little crack, jump throw. And you get a molly that looks like it goes pretty deep, but will actually prevent anybody from rushing. And then if you do the same thing with a flashbang, this can also be very helpful in helping your teammate push here. I also wanted to show, if you come up to here, and you left and right click, aim at the bottom of this brick, pretty loose. You also get a little support. Important to keep in mind that Anubis on CT side, you want to make a lot of aggressive plays. Right now, if you get 4 or 5 rounds on CT side, you basically won the game. That's how T-sided the map is. Obviously, some teams are able to put up brick walls and hard read other opponents, but especially in Faceit, you're going to find that you're getting rushed a lot, getting map control exploited because it's so easy for the T's to make, and there's so much util that the T's can throw, and not a lot that the CTs can do other than just play fundamentals. Drop smokes, play around them. Get aggressive when it's quiet, look for information, and because of that, the T's can exploit them even further. But what you don't want to do is play this map just like Mirage, where you have like a default setup every round, because what's going to happen is you're just going to lose either site over and over again, and then once you start losing both of those sites, you might rotate your players off mid to help, and then you start losing mid every round. So you really want to play aggressive and gambly on CT side, and these pieces of util will help you with that. Just as I'm rendering the video, I'm watching a donk demo, and I saw some things that I just thought I had to share. The first one is a retake molly. You get up close here, and you're going to want to bank it off of the fire. And what that's going to do is it's going to spread to this little corner, which is a very formidable spot for a post plant. It's going to force the T's into here, where they have to pick whether or not they're going to watch here, or play on this side, which is a lot easier of a clear when you're coming out. And then another thing, I was just experimenting with other util that you can throw from this position, and if you go right up to the door frame here, and then you hold shift, left and right click, tap W and jump throw, I know it's a lot, you're going to get this Molotov that lands on pool from back here, and there's nowhere they can go to hide from this, they have to evacuate. And then one other thing was a lot of the time I saw Donk would hold a smoke ready to drop it in case they were rushing, so listening for flashes. And then in rounds where there was a lot of pressure coming from other sides of the map, Donk would sometimes just push dry. In fact, I think he pushed dry 3 times and it worked all of the times. Sometimes he would go with a teammate and then they would flash into this deeper angle, but I didn't see them using any flashes like the one I showed earlier. That said, I don't think it's a bad idea to just go ahead and do it. And you get a shadow advantage on anybody who's playing close here. So if they're walking up, you're going to meet them here and you're going to see their timing, or you're going to see their shadow first. Another thing Donk likes to do is come up here and then catch somebody down here off guard.